Yeah, this is point blank. Coming in hard and off the car. Coming with the flow straight from the barrio. And coming with the heat from the damn street. Coming with the facts, the crackbacks, the boom bip to the lying ass lips. You know what I'm saying? And a whole lot more. Because this is PBNN Point Black National News, the late and the great edition, and the ghetto edition as well, as we say. You know what I'm saying? Coming in with the facts, crackbacks, the heat from the street, and so on and so on. And as we see today, you know what I'm saying, we're looking at many things that is going on. You know what I mean? Especially out here, even when it comes to with Hamas and Israel. You know what I'm saying? And my opinion to that is still stands the same. This is not about at this point in time in our lives, in our history, in our greatness as a nation. One of the things we should not be doing is exacerbating wars all around the world to appease your biblical realization of your lioness. Now, at the same time, what is going on with Hamas and Israel has to come to understanding. I'm not saying don't give aid or protect Israel. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't exacerbate the war any further. Yes, protect Israel, but at the same time, Hamas has got to back down as well. You know what I'm saying? And there must come some form of a peace agreement within the region because we know the historical value and what caused this to be. You know what I'm saying? We can go over it 100 times. We can go back as far as we want to go when it first began, in itself, in many ways. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the purpose right now. The purpose is to bring both sides to a ceasefire and an agreement. And not just an agreement for today and tomorrow, but an agreement that would last a lifetime. So both can cease to have come to some kind of compromise. But Israel knows that the position that you play is not a position that is, because now we even see where we have Germany, you know what I'm saying? Germany, sending aid, as well as it seems like Elon Musk and everyone else. You know what I'm saying? In all ways, we see this now. You know what I mean? And a lot of this cannot be a one-sided thing because we know that Hamas, say, and these different groups have been there, many years as well. You know what I mean? Whether they invasion or invaders or whatever, but they had settled there in itself. Now Israel, you moved in, and now you settled in there, and now it's your strategical point. This is why America comes running to your aid and everyone else in a hurry. But at the same time, it still exacerbating a unstableness in the region. So therefore, there must be some form of understanding to where both sides back down with this nuclear, with this this bombing and all this different stuff, as innocent people are involved on both sides of the board, no matter who's right or who's wrong. Lives are still being lost from many of the innocent people who have nothing to really do with that are now settled in that area, as well as with the Palestinians and so on. Many human rights violations needs to be put on the table in the ceasefire agreement as a subpoena court would subpoena both sides based on the you know what I'm saying, the world court, you know what I'm saying, the international court, you know what I mean, where we have to bring it to the table. We cannot allow these different groups of parties, the demon Democrats and these oligarchs and these people exacerbate these type of wars to where it becomes a situation. You know what I'm saying? We know full well that it seems some fishiness to the whole operation in itself. But at the same time, there must be some form of cease agreement in this matter. You know what I'm saying? Because you have too many wars being started, and we should not have that many wars being sparked at the same time. And who's driving that is the question. You know what I'm saying? even when we look here at this one right here, you know what I'm saying? We see Germany to send Ukraine 1 billion in air defense tech plus more tanks. You know what I'm saying? Why is Germany exacerbating the war? Here we go with their foolishness as well. This is how we know that a lot of this has to do with this neo-Nazi type, you know what I'm saying, crap that they have built up in their head that it has to be, always the same. You know what I'm saying? And we see they have sent, 1.1 billion, which of air defense, systems, Ukraine, as part of a second winter package for, and this ain't a winter package. This is seriousness. You exacerbating a nuclear war. How is this a winter package and a joke? You know what I'm saying? We have to start bringing these things to an end. The only way we're going to do that, we have to remove the party that's in there and put them under check and having more understanding. We don't need no dictatorship neither. You know what I mean? Because that only can make things worse. You know what I'm saying? But we see even here where we have, nothing but the truth. Internet hails Robert De Niro for slamming Donald J. Trump as a wannabe dictator. Well, I don't see it that way. That's the way you see it. And the question I would ask Robert De Niro, so what you call Hollywood? You know what I'm saying? At the same time, when we look at the same bullshit that he's talking, you ain't slammed nothing and nobody got no time for your fucking jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody in your apocalyptic, nuclear, blood sucking type joke or plans. What we need to be working on is a peaceful understanding across the planet Earth based on reality, not fantasy, nor joke or prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Which would bring peace to the regions and the different parts of the earth, and so forth and so forth on. No one wants to see or live through a nuclear war. And for us to be even exacerbating it or even see the reasons in which was caused to cause this to be based on their crookedness and their slick tricks and their games, now we are trapped within this game as the people is in the middle. Same as we see when you bomb Israel, you know what I'm saying, unexpectedly, strategically, and then you kill so many innocent people. Same thing when Israel decides to do from time to time the little human rights bullyingness and different stuff that you do that is it seems to go unexcused as well. You know what I'm saying? You kill many people. So the question still remains: what good is a nuclear war or war in itself? You know what I'm saying? And we don't need to be hearing jokes by Robert De Niro or any actor or anybody to have any say over our mind and our decision as to what we are seeing and based on what we need to be in this matter to have a more understanding and a strategical overstanding and position. You know what I'm saying? New York Attorney General brings Trump cases to Twitter to rally support, like she did not too long ago. Seems like your vendetta as a LGBTQ seems to have a very stupidity to it, and you're beginning, Letitia James, to look to me to be a hypocrite and a sellout, and definitely beginning to look like a clown. Your words and your mouth, saying that you thought would rally up Black Lives Matter and many other groups into following y'all idiots down the road, you chumped up this bullshit last not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? In many ways, you know what I'm saying? Out there screaming and carrying on. You know what I mean? So when we look at the whole operation of your situation, we see where Attorney General Letitia James took to the courtroom, she took her courtroom to Twitter, you know what I'm saying, this week to rally support against the defendant. Why is, first of all, if she's an Attorney General, you know what I'm saying? And this should disbar her from any practice based on any kind of court case at all. First of all, there's a law where um, if a judge is infected by any shape or form in the case other than to be in the law and the partial of the law based on the case and the case alone, nothing else, and that focus be what it is, rather than for her to be rallying, you know, saying the United States citizens to rally against a defendant as a attorney general. So what is her mission in this matter against Donald J. Trump that is personal should have automatically anyway disbar her from that position because the case has been influenced. You see what I'm saying? And to have a political standing based on a demon Democrat or LGBTQ and all types of different stuff, calling this man, Donald J. Trump, a illegitimate president, at the same time, you know what I'm saying that you don't give him no respect no more than he gave Obama. You know what I'm saying? No, Obama didn't give nobody respect. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, Obama is an illegitimate president and a fake at that. Trump was prove to us that Trump is a illegitimate president, Letitia James. You know what I'm saying? Before you spout off at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where, in an unusual gesture during a trial, the state head law enforcement official brought the matter into the public court on opinion in a time when government usually tell reporters they can't talk about going blah, blah, they can't talk about ongoing, I'm sorry, litigations. James pleaded her case before a global, you know what I'm saying, before Twitter. I'm saying, I mean, how much is we gonna let these people get away with running this type of campaign against a standing president? You know what I'm saying? And you're hearing all kind of shitty ass rumors. You know what I'm saying? We see today was the seventh day of the court trial against Donald J. Trump and, Trump organization. For years, Trump evaded justice for, a repeated fraud. And as, we continue to present our case, we will show just how much he unfairly benefited. What that has to do with anything at all, Letitia James? Your case is garbage. Your case is completely garbage. It's a waste of time and just your showboat. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about this man's personal interest, but you're making it political. That's another thing you're doing. It's still based on your political tyranny, chaos, and blatant attack on Donald J. Trump. It does not show, the qualifications, skills, and expertise of an attorney general. It really shows a very sloppy job that you and the Demon Democrats had chumped up last year, 2020, and also when you see all this marching and stomping to the streets in Philadelphia, people are being shot up with rubber bullets and Black Lives Matter to the left and Black Lives Matter up your ass and everywhere else. And every other damn group that jumped out in the motherfucking woodwork. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, America stands together, huh? Yeah, no more than they could think of a motherfucking greasy spoon. But anyway, at the same time, this is what caused that. She was out there doing the same type of rallying as an attorney general. That's not your job. To be out there rallying the United States public as an attorney general, telling them, along with the schematical scheme garbage that you have all been orchestrating, and to be out there putting in your part as a whatever you are against a standing president and candidate at the time or either is some bullshit that I've ever seen. And I don't know how the American people is allowing this to go on. No way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? While we have all these different wars breaking out all at the same time, they always do this. This is just demon, neo Nazi, all that bullshit, see, whatever put together. in the garbage that they do. You know what I'm saying? We see even right here, we got Democrat Socialist America. You know what I'm saying? Unacceptably, devoid of empathy. The DSA is facing an internal revoking on Israel. You see, it's beginning to ramp up outside of itself, coming up with the political, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not too long, 20 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? But we see the demon Democrats, you know what I'm saying, socialists of America is coming apart at the seams. Because the demon Democrats had a lot to do with what took place with Israel, being in that region and causing this destability to happen. And then turn around and blame the victim. Now, then because of the long-winded pushed in there, stay in there, this and that, now victims become where? On both sides. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And even should be here in America as well. Because we should not be allowing, no matter what the dispute is, to be. Same with the Ottoman Turks. They need to be removed from Egypt as well. You know what I'm saying? And many of the Arabs, you do not belong in that region. That region should be flooded with black people and black people for sure. But there's something there that you seem to want to hold on to after you done stole, robbed, steal, and put in all your museums all across the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? And steal the bodies of even the little short people and keeping it as a sacred emblem in some countries. You know what I'm saying? But you know that's the Torah. You know what I'm saying? That's Africa. You know what I'm saying? Even though the name might be this and the name might be that, we know what we're talking about, and we're not stupid, and we're not naive, and we're not children. You know what I'm saying? It's just a description based on the geographic area in which we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And we should know, and if Africa is not enough, we must all find the right names. But right now, when we use that name, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But we need to start to look at these type of things. While we have this socialist and socialist and all this kind of socialist, you know what I'm saying, going on and going on. You know what I'm saying? Talking about they coming up out of the scene. The Demon Democrats came up out of the scene years ago. They actually they were off the scene and they're still off the scene and never was a scene. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we see Republican Jamal Bowman, you know what I'm saying, lets his membership, you know what I'm saying, lapse. You know what I'm saying? Colleagues, Alexandria Ocasio, North Case Cortez ripped her New York chapter over a pro-Palestine rally Sunday, and others on the left, you know what I'm saying, are struggling to reconcile their views with the group, even, you know what I'm saying, devouring it amid criticism from across the political spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Well, when people are losing their lives, they don't have time to be joking around with, you know what I'm saying, spectrums. And no matter what the war may be, sometimes it needs to be quelled. But at the same time, like I said, it is something that has been always going on. You know what I'm saying? Many of the human rights violations and different stuff on Israel's side, especially talking about the holy people and bloody writing all these different Bibles and these different things going on, it's cool and fine and dandy, but it doesn't give you the right to disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it doesn't give them the right to do that. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we have been seeing this type of thing all around the group, even the reckoning, you know what I'm saying, for the DSA, you know what I'm saying, in the wake of Hamas attack on Israel could mark I guess a religion what a religiment or something like that at the extreme end of the demon Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? Which is they demons anyway. Uh-huh. But at the same time, excuse me, at the same time, progressive politicians looking for an endorsement from the DSA, you know what I'm saying, have long faced a Middle East, you know what I'm saying, a little litmus test, answering questions about whether they'll boycott Israel and if they back Palestine living under occupation. There you have it. Because Israel wasn't there before. They moved into the region to get into a strategical position within that region. This is why they wrote in their Bible that the last war would take place in that area. Because everything they wrote in the book was based towards them and that Luciferian group. You see, this is how they was able to change the book and bring you so many different versions. You see, you know what I'm saying, all across the planet. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, a version don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? What makes it right is a scientific understanding of creation in itself, not based on someone else's mentality or fantasy. But when we have these type of situation with Hamas and Israel and its occupation, you know what I'm saying, the brutality, the brutality, Saturday, violence of a greater scope and, you know what I'm saying, intensely, that, you know, it was something a greater, in other words, the violence of a greater scope and intense, yeah, in a greater scope and intensify than early Israel Palestine clash have shaken some who had been, you know, boosted by the DSA, and a blowback has been felt across Congress. State House and City Hall were where the party has made, you know, inroads in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Representative uh, Shira Tundra, something like that. I can't really pronounce her name, and I'm not gonna fight with it. City Council member look like Naya Rama. You know what I'm saying? Rejected. They rejected. They rejected group rhetoric last Tuesday, saying the National DSA statement on the attack failed to reckon with the horrors committed by Hamas and was unacceptably devoid of empathy for the community in Israel. Mm-hmm. Where in New York, the DSA lost one of its most prominent member, and in Bowman, prominent members in Bowman, a vocal critic of Israel government, has spoken, confirmed, as a spokesperson, confirmed Wednesday that he let his membership expire last year following the disagreement of funding Israel missile defense system. hmm You see, the bloodshed and bullying, um, bullying war and budding war in Israel are shining on a brighter spotlight on tensions between the often young left leaning DSA backed politicians and their mainstream demon Democrat colleagues. hmm Okay. The disagreement, which mirrored a dispute breaking out on leading college campus in recent days, could serve as a indicator of a broader division within the Demon Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, because they're the one had a lot to do with what you see is going on. You see what I'm saying? They was a part of that. You can't tell me they weren't. How in the world they're gonna tell me that? It's a question. You see? You can't. So either the Demon Democrats are based on a race war all over the planet because they like to drive these type of mind frames, or something is deadly wrong. Because this is not a fight that just started yesterday. This has been going on a long time, decades. Almost. You know what I mean? This back and forth. Because when they did that, it was a calculated plan all the way down the line. You can even go back to what Mussolini was doing to the Ethiopians in Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? You hear? All the way down the line. Go back to uh, Napoleon and all the different people coming into Africa. Every time they come in, they just didn't come. They came and brought more hell and harem in itself. So many times we saw many things that happened that took place in that region that led up to this day the same thing, believing that they can dehumanize Africa and African people. So we have a right to go in there and raid and take and rape and kill and murder and do all kinds of Luciferian barbarian shit. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's supposed to care about these black niggers. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we could say the same thing about white people. But at the same time, you have to start caring on both sides of the stick. You know what I'm saying? And that has to start with the respect of Africa and African people based on the fact that you never did that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have always in the minds of the people tried to dehumanize our culture and our race. You know what I'm saying? And the greatness that we have done. We're not begging you to show our greatness on YouTube or anywhere, and glad it is up there. We know for a fact, you know what I'm saying, in ourselves as Rahman and did so. You know what I mean? The glory of the kings and the glory of our people spread across the planet Earth for ages, decades, prehistoric time. You know, you know what I'm saying? We have been across the planet, many of us and our ancestors, to where we are today. You know what I'm saying? So when we see this garbage going on with this kind of stuff, we have to start to take a hard line look and understand that these people are completely out of their mind. So we have to look at that. It's important that we do. You know what I mean? It's important that we do. You know what I mean? And we see even in New York, you know what I'm saying, there has been, you know, infliction point that happened now. You know what I'm saying? And David Greenfield and a fellow Demon Democrat, you know what I'm saying, of New York council member who now works on the Met Council, a Jewish, non for profit, you know what I'm saying, a core membership of the DSA has not shown any sympathy at at shown no sympathy in no instance, show no sympathy for all the innocent victims of Hamas barbaric terrorism. I don't understand why is it this cannot cease to happen in many ways. Because we know of many things that were done to that region. And Even the African people themselves are still being getting hurt over their own ancestors' regions, which is a shame. But for you to move in that region or that area and create over the years, you know what I'm saying, and create that area to be in such a shambles over this whole religious type mind frame does not show intelligence in any shape or form. I don't care what you say. My question still remains is, what are you really fighting for? You know what I'm saying? We could understand in more ways than one what Hamas and Palestine and these different people are fighting for, but at the same time, in more ways than one, all of y'all put together, including Israel, what are you really fighting for? Because the land does not belong to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't see no Africans there. I see a whole bunch of y'all raiding, robbing, stealing, and all kinds of stuff, no matter how many and how long you've been there. So you really should cease and settle any warfare in that area at all and come to some kind of agreement to where there's peace in the region. Because from what I'm seeing, this has even led to even where we're over here, where we have a day of jihad sparks warning for Americans to stay inside. So now we got them on the other side, where we got Russia, a nuclear nation that could blow us to smither butterines. Now we got Arabs in our country driving a war that doesn't have anything to do with the United States other than the politicians and the corrupt motherfuckers like Joe Biden and his motherfucking son and the rest of them crooked motherfuckers that you call your elected official and chief and commander as a president in the seat, who allowed all these people in, and now they're all calculating their plans as it goes on schedule. So my question, man, is